Welcome to the beautiful studios at First Star Logistics. You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham. And today, I want to talk about reports that we're doing from training camp. And what I'm trying to do is hit newsworthy items with you, give you things, cannon fodder, to take you through training camp. Every day is not going to be a big newsworthy practice at training camp. It's a grind. The dog days of training camp are going to be upon the Cincinnati Bengals here pretty quickly. And it can get monotonous. And like Frank Pollock says, you got to master the mundane. But we'll try to keep you informed, try to entertain you a little bit. We'll still be doing podcasts with coaches, players as well. But training camp reports will continue, maybe not on a daily basis, but we'll be bringing them to you with fairly significant volume. One thing I wanted to talk about right now is everybody is so concerned with the Bengals offense, and defense is playing well. Defense is stacking practices back to back to back where they get the better of the offensive football team. And that's not a bad thing. In order to have a good football team, you better have a strong defensive football team. The old saying goes, defense wins championships. And I firmly believe that is the case. But also bear in mind, offensively, what's going on right now, and as a former offensive player, I can relate to this because offensively, they're installing, they're instructing, they're teaching. They are not game planning. So the installation is on a day-by-day basis. With Paul Brown, we installed one run in the morning, a pass in the afternoon. And then we would work against the defense with two plays. The next day, it'd be 2 runs and 2 passes because we installed another one of each. And it would go on until we had our offense totally installed. But obviously, you're going to line up against a defense that 24 dive that we installed that morning isn't going to look very good. But they want to see how you understanding techniques, how you finishing. They want to evaluate you as a football player with that play that was just installed. And they want to take a look at the play. So right now, there's no game planning. There's no scheming of routes to beat coverages. There's none of that going on. And they're aggressively installing and teaching and instructing, but that's the story. So you don't come to the line of scrimmage with a whole toolbox full of plays, and there's no audibilization. There's no audibilizing right now. I mean, if you come up to the line of scrimmage, a lot of times they'll call a play that they're working on from an installation standpoint, break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage, and players and coaches will be like, ugh, this ain't going to be pretty. We got to run it against this defense. It's not a good look. But they're not doing anything to get out of that, out of a bad look into a better play, to give a better look or a better opportunity to beat the defensive football team. So they're in the infancy stages right now. They've only had 2 or 3 padded practices at this stage. So the evaluation process has just begun. The installation process has just begun. And really, defense, you'll hear this saying a lot. Defense is ahead of the offense. At this stage, it's pretty true. It's pretty true because defense is reactionary. And if you line up in a defense at this stage of training camp that is beneficial, you're going to win that snap. There's no doubt, because offensively, you're not doing everything that you're going to do when you line up to play preseason games, and particularly when you line up to play the season opener on the 12th of September against the Minnesota Vikings. So my advice is don't panic. I would be panicked if the offense was dominating the defense right now because of all the things I just explained. And that's certainly not the case. But again, give credit to the defense. Every level is playing at a much higher rate than last year. Up front, defense putting pressure off the edges, pressuring the quarterback. Everybody's in their right gap, stopping the run. The young linebackers are understanding where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. The new defensive backs they've got on the back end, they're all communicating very, very well, even though they've come from different places. They've seen a lot of football. They've played a lot of snaps. Defensively, they're communicating, they're flying around, they're making plays, they're having fun, they're winning practices. And that's not gonna hurt the offense. It'll make the offense better. As the old saying goes, iron sharpens iron. You want to go have the best matchup that you can go against in practice every single day, it'll make game day so much easier. So sit back, relax, enjoy what the defense is doing, but don't worry about the offense. It'll come along. It'll be fine.
Hi, Dave Lapham here. Have you heard about In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics? Catch new episodes from the world of sports and broadcasting. Search for In the Trenches with Dave Lapham on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.